a new generation.
The high-performing V8 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. You only catch one like this once in a lifetime.
Here's great news. Special finance savings on Cutlass Supreme. See your old...
Wednesday on Highway to Heaven.
Who's our assignment? She's my wife.
Will the love of his past life make Jonathan forget he's an angel?
You only live once, you know what I mean?
Wednesday.
This is NBC News Digest. Here is Bob Kerr, NBC News. Good evening. Space agency officials believe the shuttle explosion may have been triggered by a torch-like flame leaking from a ruptured rocket booster. Doctors in Haiti's capital say at least 55 people were killed by troops this weekend as anti-government protests continued. A loud explosion startled the Pope's guards in India today. After Mass, a Catholic tossed a firecracker in a metal container. Now this.
3 leading toothpastes. Which gel not only fights plaque, but also cleans teeth better than the others? It's not Crest or Colgate, it's Checkup. Laboratory tests show Checkup cleans teeth better than these other toothpastes. Checkup, the plaque.
Problems for more than a month. Bob Kerr in Washington. More news later on this.
Some people love eggs for their breakfast. Others love breakfast for lunch. A few love breakfast for dinner. Breakfast people are an extraordinary bunch. That was my Biscuitville breakfast poem. If you like that, you love this. A Biscuitville breakfast fixed up right. Sizzling hot, fresh off my spatula. Why, a breakfast this good ought to be served all day long. At Biscuitville, it is. And the price, to put it poetically, $1.69 any old time. Now that's poetic justice.
Before you open an IRA, take a closer look at First Union because we take a closer look at you. With the IRA Profile Program, it's simple to find the right IRA for your lifestyle and investment needs. IRAs as competitive as any on the market. Tax-deferred IRAs that pay off now and later. The First Union IRA Profile Program. Don't just get an IRA, get the right IRA. Only at First Union. Take a closer look.
Count on Denise Franklin on News Center 12.
Tonight, he sacrificed everything for his country and lost his soul to be Tsar of Russia. His sister plotted his death. His own son betrayed him. Only one woman stood beside him as he pushed his country into the modern world.
Against force, there's only one weapon. Force.
On location in the Soviet Union with an unprecedented international cast. Vanessa Redgrave, Ursula Andress, Laurence Olivier, Elke Sommer, Mel Ferrer, Hanna Shigula, Boris Plotnikov, Natalia Andreychenko, with Jan Nicholas and Maximilian Schell as Peter the Great.
Do me a favor. Don't cheer me up.
James, you lost an arm. That's not the end.
I lost my work. I'm a liability.
You're not going to settle for that.
James was my best driver. She said he's still your best driver. I don't know how you're going to do this. Eleanor, she works for Aetna. Aetna carries our insurance. Company with people like that woman's got something going for it, I tell you. Hey, Aetna. I'm glad I met you. Old rule of mine. You work with the best in the business.
You sure it's not out of your way?
It's nowhere out of my way. Like you went for me.
This is the new Ford Taurus, Motor Trend Car of the Year. Taurus is more than just a new Ford product. It's the product of a new Ford philosophy. A belief that engineering and design should set trends, not follow them. Being named Car of the Year says a lot about Taurus, but perhaps more significantly, it says even more about Ford.
Milk got the kick that gives you more. Health kick. More nutrition in every pore. Health kick. I'm moving through the rhythm of a brand new day, 'cause the vitamins in milk help me on my way. Kick. So get all the health kick, let it pour. America's favorite health kick. Get all the health kick, milk got more. Have more milk, 'cause milk's got more.
AT&T on office automation. Theoretically, office automation makes business people more efficient. The problem is, most business machines can't share what they know the way people do. What's missing is a way for any office machine to communicate with any other. Enter AT&T. Through an AT&T system, computers, word processors, networks, and telephones from different vendors can all communicate like one big family. In AT&T's world, the key to success is people sharing information with people. And no business machine we know of is important enough to stand in the way. AT&T, the right choice.
You're on your way. The world is opening its doors.
I never understood when Mom made me clean my plate because there were places where kids were starving. Now I'm about to walk into a Dow laboratory to work on new ways to help grow more and better grain for those kids who so desperately need it.
Yes, you can make a difference in what tomorrow brings.
I can't wait.
Cause Dow lets you do great things.
Ford Escort is the world's best-selling car. Nobody can seem to catch it. Escort outsells Nissan Sentra, Honda Civic, and Toyota Tercel by nearly 2-to-1 or more. And with its more powerful engine, Escort could make the gap even wider. So while Ford Escort continues to be the world's best-selling car, the competition somehow seems to miss the boat. Have you driven the best-built American cars? Have you driven a Ford lately?
Peter the Great will continue following these messages. Next Sunday, a world movie premiere 2 years in the making.
Sampling the security in this country.
One man's fight against time.
There will be more blood.
Before the streets become a battlefield.
I'm now worthy of Allah.
Next Sunday, Under Siege.
Right now, Bojangles is having a terrific special on 8-piece chicken boxes.
You can get 8 pieces of Bojangles delicious chicken for a special price. Perfect to take home when you're not in the mood to cook, but you are in the mood to relax and enjoy a delicious meal. Bojangles chicken is marinated overnight in lively spices, then fried until it's nice and crispy outside, but still juicy inside.
Hurry in today for Bojangles 8-piece chicken box special.
Count on Rick Emmy on News Center 12.
Peter the Great continues, starring Vanessa Redgrave and Omar Sharif.
Soon someone who doesn't know anything about you could assign you a new long-distance company. They won't know how much AT&T's clear long-distance connections mean to you. Or our personalized customer service, our worldwide calling. They won't know unless you tell them. AT&T long distance for over 100 years. When you reached out, we were there. And you can keep it that way. If you're asked to choose, make the choice yourself. Send in your ballot.
Hello, Deli. Now, the deli tastes you love. Hello, Deli. Are also in new Oscar Mayer Select Slices. Oscar Mayer put deli taste where it belongs. 9 all-time deli favorites, including pastrami, Italian-style beef, corned beef, and more. New Oscar Mayer Select Slices for deli taste a whole new way.
Deli taste is here today. Deli taste a whole new way. Deli will never be the same again.
To all the people who grow the wine, and to all those who enjoy fine wine, Ernest and Julio Gallo give their best. Today's Gallo, all the best a wine can be.
Peter the Great will continue following these messages.
Monday All-Star TV bloopers with Golden Girls Betty White and a practical joke on Rue McClanahan. Plus moonlighting Sybil Shepherd on TV's bloopers and practical jokes.
How exciting.
This is NBC News Digest. Here is Bob Kerr, NBC News. Good evening. A torch-like leak in a rocket booster evident 15 seconds before the explosion may have caused the shuttle disaster, but NASA officials doubt the crew could have survived even if they'd known. In the Philippines, leftist demonstrators burned effigies of Presidents Reagan and Marcos. A West German newspaper says jailed Soviet dissident Anatoly Sharansky will be released in an East-West spy swap this week. Now this.
The law requires all manufacturers to drive their cars into walls. At Audi, we also concentrate on going around them. Audi, the art of engineering.
In Minnesota, Hormel will try to open in the morning as striking meat packers try again to shut the plant down. Bob Kerr in Washington. More news later on this NBC station.
All right, everybody. We're ready. Go ahead, sis.
Imagine that electric light. It's amazing.
That's only the beginning, Mom. Why, someday electricity will warm the house and cool it too, Mom.
Oh, is that what they're teaching you in college?
Really, Mom? And it'll heat your water and wash your clothes.
Fancy.
And dry them too, Mom. And maybe even do your dishes.
That boy, he sure is a dreamer.
Electricity. It's made a lot of dreams come true.
Lyons Gray, Republican for Congress, with a heritage as proud as North Carolina's.
born and raised here in a family with a tradition of service and business integrity. Lyons Gray is a builder of his own successful business, a strong believer in traditional family values, a veteran, a leader in the service of his country and in the service of his community, helping youth organizations, civic groups, and education. Lyons Gray, Republican for Congress, leadership and integrity, working for us.
Count on Denise Franklin on News Center 12.
Peter the Great continues, starring Vanessa Redgrave, Omar Sharif, and Jan Nicholas.
Now there's an American car with the shape and the feel we've never seen before. Taurus. Now there is a personal car that has exactly what we've been looking for.
For all of us who will not compromise, Ford listened. Ford created Taurus for us.
Taurus, 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 Taurus. Have you driven a Ford lately?
At AT&T, we know you never think about our torture tests. Or about our extraordinary quality control.
I hear you fine, Mom. Australia's only halfway around the world.
Or even about how reliably we design things.
Still works. Who ever heard of a computer that works without air conditioning?
You can take everything we do for granted because we leave nothing to chance.
It's not a total loss. The phone still works.
For telephones, information systems, long-distance services, or computers, AT&T is the right choice.
Hard to believe it's been 10 years.
Group insurance? Edna. Lou, what is this? Employees are going to have the best. But you've got no employees. You don't need Edna. You need a decent suit. That's the only trouble with you, Bud. You're afraid to dream.
My business was next door to his. I saw it all. Oh, he took risks, but he'd always take the trouble to learn who was best at something. He'd store that away, and then when he needed it, there was Aetna. They had the strength to back him up. His insurance, his financing, his health plans.
Edna, I'm glad I met you.
Work with the best in the business. That's how Lou does it. Your people, the spirit, all of it, the best.
And one more best, my friend. Best country.
Have you driven a Ford?
Now you can get 7.9 plus at your Ford dealer. 7.9% annual percentage rate financing on new 85 and 86 V6 Thunderbirds, new Ford Tempos, and new 4- and 5-speed manual transmission Ford Escorts. Plus Ford's new 3-year unlimited mileage powertrain warranty on all 86 Ford cars. Plus 7.9% financing on tough new 4x2 Ranger pickups. That's 7.9 plus at your Ford dealer now.
Ann McKenzie, interior decorator for Endust.
You're using spray wax for everyday cleaning? What's wrong with that? Frequent use of Pledge can cause wax buildup. Just use it occasionally to polish furniture. But day-to-day dusting and cleaning, Endust cleans better. Look, Pledge's wax can actually trap dirt on the surface. Endust frees more dirt and cleans better without wax. So use spray wax for occasional waxing. But for day-to-day dusting and cleaning, Endust cleans better.
Do you think effective antacid medicine can taste good?
Sure, when it's Remigel. Tastes better than any antacid I've ever tried. What a job it does on my heartburn.
Hey, no chalky taste and liquid relief in every Remigel tablet.
I never thought an antacid could taste this good and work.
New great-tasting Remigel. Soft and chewy with the same effective relief for acid indigestion and heartburn as 2 teaspoons of the leading liquid.
Relief never tasted so good.
New Remigel. Liquid relief in every great-tasting tablet.
The way cheap phones break down, the companies that make them must do some pretty interesting
I hear you.
tests.
Hear me? I hear you. I heard something.
Real torture tests. And ring tests.
I heard it.
What did you hear?
I heard it. I didn't hear it.
You get what you pay for. AT&T.
the right choice. Peter the Great will continue following these messages.
I'm Jane Pauley. This week on Today, the countdown to the Marcos Aquino election. Also, Michael J. Fox, Don Johnson, and Bill Cosby. That and more this week on Today.
Wednesday on Highway to Heaven.
Who's our cyber?
She's my wife, Lamar. Will the love of his past life make Jonathan forget he's an angel?
You only live once, you know what I mean?
Wednesday.
This is a News Center 12 News Capsule.
Good evening from News Center 12. I'm Monica Malpass. Coming up tonight at 11, investigators find solid leads in the cause of the shuttle explosion. The EPA restricts the use of a controversial chemical. And Jimmy the Groundhog looks for his shadow. Now this.
Mocap nematicide insecticide means quality tobacco. Because Mocap experience means quality control.
Plus, Jack LaFave with NFL highlights. Join us for Night Beat.
If electricity had been around when our grandparents were kids, there would have been a lot more going on in that little one-room schoolhouse. Electricity. It's helping today's kids learn more than their grandparents ever dreamed of.
Pepsi was born right here in the Carolinas, a winner from the start. Now Pepsi wants to make you a born winner of this. A Chevy Cavalier Z24, one of 8 to be given away here in the Carolinas as first prizes in the Pepsi Born Winner sweepstakes. And 8,000 special Pepsi Born Winner baseball shirts will be given away too. Enter today at participating stores.
The People's Court, weekdays at 5:30.
Peter the Great continues, starring Vanessa Redgrave, Omar Sharif, and Lily Palmer.
Leave it. We gotta go.
I own an insurance agency, center of town.
Going over to the office.
I got wiped out as bad as anybody. But I knew people would be coming to me to help them put their lives back together. And they didn't need a helpless insurance agent. I called Aetna.
You've got 4 computer terminals coming down air freight tomorrow. We'll restore your records as soon as you're back online.
Your coverage.
Everything?
Everything. When you've got the best in the business behind you, you can do some things.
Okay. I learned 2 things this week, George. Twister's even worse than everybody said. And you're even better.
Appreciate it.
When the going gets rough, you need a tough 4x4 like this, the 86 Ford Ranger STX. This year, only Ranger offers this new electric shifting system. You just punch a button at any speed and shift from 2-wheel to ground-grabbing 4-wheel drive. And talk about power. Ranger's new 2.9-liter V6 has the most horses of any small truck. The tough 86 Ford Ranger 4x4. The best-built American trucks are built. Ford Tough.
Call it art. Call it style. It's the look and feel you only get from Vidal Sassoon. Shampoo, finishing rinse, styling mousse. Sassoon Clean, Sassoon Sheen, Sassoon Pizzazz. Call it art. Call it style. It's the look and feel you only get from Vidal Sassoon.
Every 3 kids between the ages of 5 and 17 still get cavities. So don't push your luck. Make sure your family fights cavities with Crest. You see, dentists have seen clinical proof for years. More of them recommend Crest. and more dentists' families brush with Crest than any other fluoride toothpaste. After all, they want good checkups as much as you do. Crest, the dentist's choice for fighting cavities.
Next, a man betrayed. A love affair that changed history. A nation on a collision course with destiny. Peter the Great, next.
Wednesday on Highway to Heaven.
She's our assignment, huh? She's my wife, am I?
Will the love of his past life make Jonathan forget he's an angel?
You only live once, you know what I mean?
Wednesday. The threat and fear of international terrorism is an important issue filled with emotion because of recent political events. Sunday, February 9th, NBC will present a world movie premiere about a group of fanatics who attacked America. Let us hope it never happens, but it's an issue the world must face. Under Siege, Sunday, February 9th.
This is NBC News Digest. Here is Chuck Scarborough, NBC News.
Good evening. The Federal Aviation Administration today ordered inspection of the fuselage frames of older 747 jumbo jets. They're looking for cracks. The FAA also said it will hire more air controllers and inspectors this year, even if budget cuts force other layoffs. And President Reagan named an independent board to look into last week's shuttle tragedy. Now this.
3 leading toothpastes. Which gel not only fights plaque, but also cleans teeth better than the others? It's not Crest or Colgate, it's Checkup. Laboratory tests show Checkup cleans teeth better than these other toothpastes. Checkup, the plaque attacker.
Philippine opposition candidate Corazon Aquino said she'll need 65% of next Friday's vote to offset cheating by pro-Marcos forces. And President Duvalier sent troops to 2 trouble spots in Haiti today to curb rebellion. I'm Chuck Scarborough in New York. More news later on the...
If you've been searching for great rock and roll, we're the all-new Rock 92, 92.3 FM. Playing the best rock and roll from the 60s, 70s, and today. Playing the most music. 10 in a row, rock and roll. Rock 92, where Carolina comes to rock.
McDonald's put together a perfect combination. The McDLT combo, just $1.99. Featuring that great new sandwich that keeps the hot hot and the cool cool. The McDLT combo. Hot fries in a regular size, cool medium Coca-Cola. A hot deal for a cool price, just $1.99 for a limited time. A perfect combination.
It's a good time.
It'll knock you out.
For the great taste of McDonald's.
Count on Denise Franklin on News Center 12.
Tonight, the saga of a ruler who sacrificed everything for his country. The story of a man who lost his soul to be Tsar of all the Russians. Last night.
Hard to believe it's been 10 years.
Group insurance? Atlas. Lou, what is this? Employees are going to have the best. But you have no employees. You don't need Atlas. You need a decent suit. That's the only trouble with you, bud. You're afraid to dream.
My business was next door to his. I saw it all. Oh, he took risks, but he'd always take the trouble to learn who was best at something. He'd store that away, and then when he needed it, there was Aetna. They had the strength to back him up. His insurance, his financing, his health plans.
Aetna, I'm glad I met you.
Work with the best in the business. That's how Lou does it. Your people, the spirit, all of it, the best.
And one more best, my friend. Best country.
AT&T on office automation.
Most office machines are like the pieces of a puzzle. There's only one right way to put them together. Enter AT&T. In AT&T's world, computers, terminals, and whole networks fit together in many ways, like building blocks. So the system that's just right today can change. It can grow and be just as right tomorrow. Since the one thing you can bank on in business is that your needs will change, it pays to have a system that can do the same. AT&T. The right choice.
An American car with the shape and the feel we've never seen before. For us, now there is a personal car that has exactly what we've been looking for.
For all of us who will not compromise, Ford listened. Ford created Taurus for us.
For us. Taurus for us. Taurus for us. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Do you want to buy a phone? It's cheaper than AT&T.
What you really need is cheap long distance.
And of course, our business systems are cheaper than AT&T.
Everyone's saying they're cheaper than AT&T, but nobody's saying they're better. All they can say is that they're cheaper, to which we say, you get what you pay for. Whether it's telephones, information systems, long-distance services, or computers, AT&T is the right choice. Better land to grow wine. No better wines than Gallo wines today. Today's Gallo. All the best a wine can be.
Peter the Great will continue following these messages.
Wednesday on Highway to Heaven.
Who's our cipher? She's my wife.
Will the love of his past life make Jonathan forget he's an angel?
You only live once, you know what I mean?
Wednesday.
Sunday. Peter Strauss, E.G. Marshall, Mason Adams, Paul Winfield, and Hal Holbrook face America under siege.
Honey, I want to call Debbie.
Why? I mean, she's only been gone a few days.
I know, but college is such a big step, and, well, she's still my little girl.
Oh, boy. Well, it's not much of a long-distance call. What is it, 70, 80 miles? Sure. Let's call it.
Debbie Parker. Yes? There's a phone call for you. I think it's your mom.
Southern Bell, long distance. It costs so little, and it means so much.
Mom? Hi.
Count on Rick Emmy on News Center 12.
Peter the Great continues, starring Vanessa Redgrave, Omar Sharif, and Lily Palmer.
AT&T is in fast action. The Buffalo Sabres wanted to sell more tickets.
Sabres ticket office?
We recommended AT&T International 800 service.
I just need your credit card number.
Which quickly expanded their market.
This makes over 1,100 orders from Canada.
And boosted sales 20%.
Sold out.
Another reason to choose AT&T long-distance services. Talk with us. AT&T, the right choice.
There's a sporty vehicle that offers you so much variety, it fits right in with today's active lifestyles. The tough Ford Bronco 2. It's a hit with the Jet Set, and the Red Set, the Trail Set, and the Sail Set, the Tow Set, the Snow Set, the Angler Set, and the Wrangler Set. Ford Bronco 2, around town or up in the mountains. You know it's built tough. The best-built American trucks are built Ford Tough.
The time has come for the end of the spoon. Time for Mediquell for cough relief instead of liquids. Mediquell concentrates powerful liquid cough medicine into soft, chewy squares for relief so strong it lasts 8 hours long. For the end of your cough and the end of your spoon, Mediquell Chewy Cough Squares. Cough relief so strong it lasts 8 hours long. New for coughs plus nasal congestion. Try new decongestant formula Mediquell.
There's no sense in rehashing. They have to improve the deal.
American had the first flight. You're set.
Perfect. What's the best they can offer?
Looks like 52 a share.
Not good enough.
This is from Legal. Here are your tickets. You have boarding passes and seat appointments. It's American. Go straight to the gate. Good luck.
Luck? Luck is for rabbits. When you're something special, people know it.
Peter the Great will continue following these messages.
I'm Tom Brokaw. Oh, say, can you sing our national anthem, or would America be more beautiful with a new one? A special report tomorrow on NBC Nightly News.
This is NBC News Digest. Here is Chuck Scarborough, NBC News.
Good evening. President Reagan's named an independent board to investigate last week's space disaster. He's also asking Congress for a small increase in the NASA budget. The Federal Aviation Administration is calling for the inspection of older 747 jumbo jets and adding more air traffic controllers this year. A federal judge in Chicago threw out a 7-year-old sex discrimination suit by women employees of Sears Roebuck. Another federal judge ruled the 5 remaining California condors must be allowed to stay in the wild. And Pope John Paul placed a garland around the neck of Mother Teresa in Calcutta, India, where he received an enthusiastic welcome. I'm Chuck Scarborough in New York. More news later on this NBC station.
Winston-Salem aldermen debate a name for the city's new Coliseum. Guilford County School Superintendent has a different view than a report that urges merger with Greensboro and High Point, and divers search for a murder weapon. It's all coming up on Night Beat at 11.
Electricity. It's made some big changes in the way Americans live. The heat pump helped do away with that backbreaking work and provides air conditioning in the summer. The electric washer and dryer took over these chores. Thanks to the refrigerator, the Iceman doesn't come anymore. And if you want hot water today, just turn a faucet. Electricity has turned a lot of hard work into ancient history.
Power. The roar of thunder. They're roaring to Winston-Salem Coliseum. The Hot Rod Pull Winter Action is here this Friday and Saturday nights and Sunday afternoon. Wild wheelie poppin' open 2-wheel drive truck, tough super modified 4x4 trucks, plus the amazing battle of the monster trucks. See the Yankee, the Ohio Giant, plus the Southern Virginia Giant. See the twin-engine High Riser, plus the amazing funny car Superfly and Midnight Madness, an Orange Blossom special, sponsored by Modern Chevrolet. Winston-Salem gets set for high-performance pulling power.
Sale of the Century, weeknights at 7 on TV 12.
Peter the Great continues, starring Omar Sharif, Jan Nicholas, and Helmut Green.
This is the new Ford Taurus, Motor Trend Car of the Year. Taurus is more than just a new Ford product. It's the product of a new Ford philosophy. A belief that engineering and design should set trends, not follow them. Being named Car of the Year says a lot about Taurus, but perhaps more significantly, it says even more about Ford.
Get this. Lists of people who eat Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Who eats those?
Charles Bronson.
Eats cornflakes.
So does Christy Brinkley. George Brett, Beach Boys.
All of them?
George Benson.
Robbie Benson.
Eats cornflakes. Yeah.
Good old Kellogg's cornflakes. Their great taste and solid nutrition come as no surprise.
Diane Carroll.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
You guys getting hungry?
Yes.
The surprise is the people who eat them.
How about those Kellogg's cornflakes now?
Do me a favor. Don't cheer me up.
James, you lost an arm. That's not the end.
I lost my work. I'm a liability.
You're not going to settle for that.
James was my best driver. She said he's still your best driver.
I don't know how you're going to do this.
Eleanor, she works for Aetna. Aetna carries our insurance. Company with people like that woman's got something going for it, I tell you.
Hey, Aetna. I'm glad I met you.
Old rule of mine. You work with the best in the business.
You sure it's not out of your way?
There's nowhere out of my way. Like you went for me.
AT&T on office automation. Most of the business machines sold today only work with their own kind. Anything else is brand X. That leaves your company locked in and some powerful new products locked out. Enter AT&T. Our office design welcomes computers, word processors, networks, and telephones made by many vendors, not just AT&T. That way, as your needs change, so can your system. We make the pieces fit. In AT&T's world, flexibility is everything. Because in business, you never know what tomorrow may bring. AT&T, the right choice.
Hamburgers are like trains. At some places, the hamburger makes several stops. First in a box, then under the heat lamp, and finally in the holding bin. That's the local hamburger. At Wendy's, your hamburger goes straight to you while it's fresh. So why take the local hamburger when you can get a Wendy's Express?
You know where to get all these steaming, hot stuffed baked potatoes. You get them at Wendy's.
Have you driven a Ford?
Now you can get 7.9 plus at your Ford dealer. 7.9% annual percentage rate financing on new 85 and 86 V6 Thunderbirds, new Ford Tempos, and new 4 and 5-speed manual transmission Ford Escorts. Plus Ford's new 3-year unlimited mileage powertrain warranty on all 86 Ford cars. Plus 7.9% financing on tough new 4x2 Ranger pickups. That's 7.9 plus at your Ford dealer now.
Peter the Great will continue following these messages. Sunday, a world movie premiere, 2 years in the making.
Sampling the security in this country.
What if international terrorists attacked America? How could we fight back?
There will be more blood.
Before the streets become a battlefield.
I'm now worthy of Allah.
Sunday, Under Siege.
This is a News Center 12 News Capsule.
Good evening, I'm Rick Emmy. In the news tonight, Winston-Salem aldermen delayed deciding on a name for the new Coliseum in the city. Gilbert school administrators find fault in a study recommending merger. A suspect is in custody for a morning slaying in High Point. And employers seek ways to counter drug abuse on the job. How this?
I just never looked, so I didn't know Alpo costs the same as other dries. Now I know.
Alpo beef flavored dinner, real meat protein, really good price.
Watch Night Beat at 11.
All right, everybody. We're ready. Go ahead, sis.
Imagine that electric light. It's amazing.
That's only the beginning, Mom. Why, someday electricity will warm the house and cool it too, Mom.
Oh, is that what they're teaching you in college?
Really, Mom? And it'll heat your water and wash your clothes.
Fancy.
And dry them too, Mom. And maybe even do your dishes.
That boy, he sure is a dreamer.
Electricity. It's made a lot of dreams come true.
Lyons Gray, Republican for Congress, with a heritage as proud as North Carolina's. Born and raised here in a family with a tradition of service and business integrity. Lyons Gray is a builder of his own successful business, a strong believer in traditional family values, a veteran, a leader in the service of his country and in the service of his community, helping youth organizations, civic groups, and education. Lyons Gray, Republican for Congress, leadership and integrity, working for us.
Wheel of Fortune, weeknights at 7:30. Peter the Great continues, starring Jan Nicholas, Anna Shagula, and Helmut Green.
Hard to believe it's been 10 years.
Group insurance? Edna. Lou, what is this? Employees are going to have the best. But you've got no employees. You don't need Edna. You need a decent suit. That's the only trouble with you, Bud. You're afraid to dream.
My business was next door to his. I saw it all. Oh, he took risks, but he'd always take the trouble to learn who was best at something. He'd store that away, and then when he needed it, there was Aetna. They had the strength to back him up. His insurance, his financing, his health plans.
Edna, glad I met ya.
Work with the best in the business. That's how Lou does it. Your people, the spirit, all of it, the best.
And one more best, my friend. Best country.
Ford Escort is the world's best-selling car. Nobody can seem to catch it. Escort outsells Nissan Sentra, Honda Civic, and Toyota Tercel by nearly 2 to 1 or more. And with its more powerful engine, Escort could make the gap even wider. So while Ford Escort continues to be the world's best-selling car, the competition somehow seems to miss the boat. Have you driven the best-built American cars? Have you driven a Ford lately?
Do cats love the great taste of Friskies? You bet. It's the taste that has them jumping for joy and walking on air. Friskies has a way of making that great flavor right in. The great taste of Friskies. Very satisfying.
Stay tuned for scenes from tomorrow night's episode of Peter the Great.
I've got a headache this big, and it's got Excedrin written all over it.
I've got a headache this big, and it's got Excedrin written all over it.
Excedrin, the big headache medicine. More medicine than any regular strength pain reliever. The most medicine you can buy without a prescription. Nothing is stronger.
I had a headache this big, but I took Excedrin, and it's gone.
Excedrin, from Bristol Myers. Excedrin, the headache medicine.
Here's the small pickup that has a lot of the others eating its dust. The small Ford Ranger. It's built tough. And it now has an even more powerful V6. More horsepower than even the Toyota Turbo. And there's the sporty fun-to-drive Ranger STX. Built tough. And the new Ranger Super Cab with lots of extra room for people or cargo. Built tough. And the Ranger S, priced at $59.93. Oh, did we mention all Rangers are built tough? Well, the best-built American trucks are built Ford tough.
Leave it. We gotta go.
I own an insurance agency, center of town.
Going over to the office?
I got wiped out as bad as anybody. But I knew people would be coming to me to help them put their lives back together. And they didn't need a helpless insurance agent. I called Aetna.
You've got 4 computer terminals coming down air freight tomorrow. We'll restore your records as soon as you're back online.
It covers
Everything?
everything. When you've got the best in the business behind you, you can do some things.
I learned 2 things this week, George. Twister's even worse than everybody said. And you're even better.
Appreciate it.
Tomorrow night, Peter's saga continues.
Please sit down, sire. Now to business.
A historic journey opens the door for a deadly conspiracy.
The longer Peter is out of Russia, the longer we have to prepare our future.
And Peter is forced to return to Russia.
History is repeating itself.
To defend his crown and punish the rebels with a vengeance.
Let them go to hell!
Destiny calls Russia's greatest leader as Peter the Great continues. Peter the Great has been sponsored in part by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Aetna, the insurance people. Work with the best in the business, Aetna. And by AT&T, the right choice.
The courage. You can kick me out of here, but I ain't quitting. The love.
I've loved you since I met you.
The conflict. What kind of a human being are you? The pain.
I got nowhere else to go!
An officer and a gentleman. Next Monday.
Controversy delays picking a name for Winston-Salem's new Coliseum.
Fault is found in a study recommending school merger.
Employers seek answers to questions about drug abuse on the job.
And burning the midnight oil to get a NASCAR team ready for Daytona. It's all next.
On News Center 12's Night Beat.
Have it all. Who says you can't love your work and return to pay? Who says you can't have life here with super premium taste? Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can. Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can.
Super premium taste and a less filling beer.
Michelob Light. Oh, yes, you can. Have it all.
This is a decaffeinated coffee bean. And if you don't know how your coffee gets decaffeinated, you could be leaving a lot to chance. Because practically every coffee gets decaffeinated unnaturally. But not this one. It's naturally decaffeinated for pure coffee taste. Just read the label. If they don't tell you it's naturally decaffeinated, chances are they use something unnatural.
Nescafe Decaf. Taste your way, naturally.
WXII, Winston-Salem, Greensboro, High Point.
From News Center 12, this is Night Beat.
Good evening, I'm Denise Franklin.
And I'm Rick Ammey. After hours of sometimes heated debate tonight, the Winston-Salem Board of Aldermen is delaying naming the city's new Coliseum.
News Center 12's Marianne Chaboy was at the board meeting tonight where there was a standing room only crowd.
Before the meeting began, Alderman Virginia Newell knew the crowd was here to debate the naming of the Coliseum. She'd introduced a resolution to name it after this man, Lawrence Joel, the only Winston-Salem native ever to receive the Congressional Medal of Honor. In a move to include all veterans in the new name, Newell changed her resolution and proposed to call the new facility the Lawrence Joel Veterans Coliseum. But even that move did not seem to pacify all who feel they should have some say in the new name.
This man is probably a hero in everybody's sight. But there's no person that's in the grave or anybody living that's not a hero just as much as that man is.
To those ideals. Epitomizes all veterans by the very nature of his actions in earning the Congressional Medal of Honor. We feel the name we support not only brings honor to Lawrence Joel, but to all other veterans.
The most verbal speaker of the night was Vietnam vet Ernie Pitt, who implored that some of his fellow veterans end what he calls racist madness.
There are those among you who despise this man simply because he is black. And I challenge you to search your souls as God is your witness and say otherwise.
Following as much time discussing the issue among themselves, aldermen openly expressed embarrassment about the way some people are addressing the issue. They talked about taking the matter of a new name to the public by way of public hearings. But to that end, Alderman Vivian Burke says, quote, every time a discussion about race comes up, we wait. In the end, the board voted no consideration on the matter. Naming of the Coliseum will be on the agenda again in 2 weeks. Mary Ann Chaboy, News Center 12, Night Beat.
Guilford County School Board members tonight took their first detailed look at the controversial study released 2 weeks ago, suggesting they merge their system with Greensboro and High Point.
It's an idea that the Guilford County Board has always opposed because it maintains it stands to lose the most. News Center 12's Monica Malpass watched tonight's discussion, and it is in our newsroom with this report. Monica?
Well, tonight, Guilford County School Superintendent Dr. Jerome Melton gave the board an overview of the merger study, and he found fault with most of it. He says it overlooks the basic questions and distorts some statistics. The study doesn't say where high schools would be located with a merger. Melton says they'd probably all be in Greensboro, where the bigger and better schools are. And if so, he says that would mean higher transportation costs than the study's betting on.
Large systems tend to have the highest transportation costs, and the reason is that you just have to bus farther, and that's just common sense.
The study also doesn't say how a school board would be chosen. Some Guilford County board members fear that would only give the county one representative. Finally, Melton says cities and the county will grow more than the study allows for. And with a bigger tax base to support schools, he doesn't see the need for a merger. But school board member Tom Smitherman called Melton's assessment one-sided and told the board not to be selfish.
We're getting too much to the point where we say, I'm only interested in what's good for me. And I think it's time that we look beyond that perimeter of our own front yard.
So tonight, Guilford County School Board members decided just to hold several public meetings at area schools to hear parents' questions. They hope to find some answers to all of these issues before they decide yay or nay to a merger.
Monica, aren't some of the board members on the Special Merger Study Commission?
Yes, 3 of them were appointed earlier today to a commissioner's task force to look at the merger question, see if it's what the county needs at all, and if it is, how to go about doing it. And they'll have their first meeting next Monday.
All right, thank you, Monica. Denise?
For an independent Blue Ribbon Commission announced by President Reagan today, the directive is to investigate the explosion of the Space Shuttle Challenger and try and find out why it happened. Steve Porter has the story from Washington.
The president decided to name the special panel last Friday as he flew back from the Houston Memorial Service for the 7 dead Challenger crew members.
As we move away from that terrible day, we must devote our energies to finding out how it happened and how it can be prevented from happening again.
He named former Secretary of State William P. Rogers to be chairman and the first man on the moon, Neil Armstrong, to be vice chairman of the panel, which he says will report in 120 days its recommendations on how to prevent in the future what happened to the Challenger crew. Both Rogers and acting NASA Administrator Bill Graham denied they felt the president's trying to take the investigation away from NASA.
He has asked me to make sure that NASA, in conducting its technical studies and analyses, works very closely in support of this commission.
Armstrong said even with all the data that's to be made available, the job won't be easy.
I suppose the biggest difficulty we'll have is not to jump to conclusions.
Last week, the idea of a blue ribbon panel was pushed aside. But then it was decided apparently that the American people want assurances that as honest as NASA has been, this accident demands more than just the space agency's investigation of itself. Steve Porter, NBC News, at the White House.
But while that Blue Ribbon Commission was being announced, NASA's investigation of itself was underway. NASA's investigative team held its first formal meeting today. The group studied films and flight data to see if a mysterious spurt of fire from a rocket triggered the explosion that destroyed the shuttle and its crew. As for the search for debris from the Challenger, the Coast Guard says there's been a dramatic decline in the number of objects found. The search area has been tripled. And one of the boats in the Atlantic today was not searching for clues, but remembering the crew that died aboard the shuttle. The American Legion conducted a memorial at sea and dropped 4 wreaths into the ocean.
An aircraft for the public, the giant Boeing 747, is getting the once-over. The Federal Aviation Administration is concerned that older models of the jumbo jet might have cracks in their frame. So the agency is ordering inspections, and in fact, they are already in progress. That order followed the discovery of cracks in 4 planes during routine overhauls. Tonight in High Point, 2 men are charged with killing a man at a motel. Police tell us they still cannot reveal the name of the victim at the Best Value Motel, but they can name the suspects. They say 47-year-old Donald Ray Barnes is charged with homicide, and Austin Bennett Sellers is charged with being an accessory. Officers would provide no more information on the case. The victim was found shot to death in his motel room this morning.
Tonight in High Point, or rather through the investigation into a controversial murder case which will resume tomorrow. News Center 12 has learned Winston-Salem police will begin re-interviewing several hundred witnesses connected to the Deborah Sykes murder case. Sykes was found raped and stabbed August 10th, 1984. Despite reports that 2 men were involved, Daryl Hunt was the only person arrested, charged, and convicted. But 2 months ago, Winston-Salem Police Chief Joe Maston announced the Sykes murder investigation and every other unsolved murder case going back 5 years would be reopened to reassure Winston-Salem residents that police are doing the best job they can. And that's the process that begins tomorrow. Investigators say they cannot predict, though, how long the review will take. In another murder case, tonight officers are empty-handed after a search for a possible murder weapon.
It was a knife said to be used to kill 16-year-old Susie Holloman of Lexington. And today, police divers couldn't find it where it was said to be in Rich Fork Creek of Davidson County.
Some things are buried too deep under the sand, really, to make a determination. Is to given any perfect determination as whether something is or is not down there.
Convicted murderer Ricky Lee Sanderson says he threw the knife in the water and that he killed Susie Holloman and buried her in this shallow grave. But Woody Jones previously confessed to the crime. And while there are 2 confessions, the DA says he will try Woody Jones. And coming up on News Center 12.
Piedmont businesses learn how to counter the growing threat of drug abuse on the job.
From the world of automotive excellence, Forsyth Porsche is pleased to announce an exciting lease offer. The 1986 Porsche 944, a sports car unlike any other, yours to drive home on lease for only $395 per month. Known for its unsurpassed German engineering and performance, the Porsche 944 combines stylish comfort and good fuel economy. It's a driving experience you shouldn't miss. Now just $395 per month. Enjoy automotive excellence for less. The Porsche 944, only from Forsyth Porsche.
A financial plan? You sit here and you think, sure, someday when all these bills are paid and there's a little extra money, that's when I'll start planning. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. You should be sitting here, now, with a financial planner from IDS. An IDS plan can help you find extra money to invest, to enjoy, to make your life better starting today. Really, shouldn't you be sitting here? IDS, Personal Financial Planner.
Yeah, he's ready.
How does it feel when the phone rings and it's for me? Who's batting? Who am I facing? Nervous? I want the nervous edge.
Come on, let's go get him.
Keep cool. Keep cool.
Keep it down, buddy.
I can't trust what I got in the bullpen. Here goes nothing.